sous la terre. On monte en pète, on baille en mouche, allez on vous envahit tout comme moi. Ni doute, on savent que c'est fou. Quoi qu'il en coûte, about tout. Face au monde, vous et moi. Laissez-moi promettre fou, baby. This love is forever, you and me. Your news and ways, you're pleasing me. Mais on s'est souhaité money, pas j'en like it one, baby, baby, baby. Oh, baby, fais-moi ressentir. Baby, fais-moi ressentir. Tease me, kill me with your love. You take my world upside down. Baby, fais-moi ressentir. Baby, fais-moi ressentir. This is what you're doing, babe. This is what you're doing, babe. This is what you're doing to me.
I'm doing all this just for you, baby. This is what you're doing, babe. This is what you're doing, babe. This is what you're doing to me.
Tease me, kill me with your love and take my world upside down. Tease me,
Kill me with your
your love and
take my world upside down. Yeah. This is what you're doing to me. Kill me with your love and take my world upside down.
1 2 1 2.
tease me, kill me with your love and take my world upside down. Upside down.
Hey. Uh-huh. There we go. Music is done. This is done. Maybe I should turn on the light, maybe. There you go. Welcome to Club Shada. As always, unannounced for now, until I decide a good time that goes with everybody, where the world is trying to go back to normal, and I'm seeing the changes in the changes in the streams. My YouTube streams are going down. I was at the million. I'm now at 970,000. It's probably gonna go down back to maybe, I don't know, 900,000, 800, who knows. And my Spotify streams that were down because the people who were commuting, the clubs, the bars that were all closed, are now going up. So I think I was stabilized at 725,000 streams per month for Kaysha, and I'm now going back. I'm now flirting with 800,000. So all in all, that's always the way I see this business thing. To me, I don't mind if something goes down as long as something goes up. So if I lose 10 euros somewhere and I win 10 somewhere else, I don't mind. I'm just watching everything, and it's interesting. I had the idea when the pandemic started and the confinement, the quarantine started. I really thought that the streams would explode. I really thought that Spotify's view would, but finally, the people who listen to music at home kept on listening at home, but the people who listen to music when they go outside, when they go on a bike, when they go to work, or the clubs and the hotels that have playlists when I have my songs on, they were all shut down, and there was no commuting. So all these views disappeared in 2 weeks. Everything went down, and now everything is going back up because people are starting to commute again, and some places are starting to open. So and I guess it's the YouTube views that exploded, not only from this show that has really brought some, you know, a lot of new boys and girls to the Shada gang, and so that's interesting. That's very interesting. I've seen also something. I was talking about it with Nelson Freitas. It's going to be part of one of the news I want to announce today. There's I also see that the live shows on Instagram, there's starting to be less of them. First of all, there's a fatigue of live shows, and a lot of people who were doing live every day now going back to work too, and a lot of people that were watching live day and night, they're also going back to work, some of them, and some of them are working from home, and others are just tired. So that's interesting. We'll see how the space moves. I want to talk about 3 things today before I say hi to everybody. If anybody's there, oh yeah, people are here. So I want to talk about 3 things today. I want to talk about Don Kikash versus Johnny Ramos. I want to talk about Joe Rogan signing an exclusive deal with Spotify, and I want to talk about the guardians of the culture. I don't know what I'm going to go first. Probably I'm going to talk a little bit about the news, about the channel, about updates, about my music business. So I want to say hi to all our new subscribers. I mean, the 4 last of them. Baseka Cyprien, Eulalia Kuko, Kingsley Blaise, and Fanta Bamba. All must be in Africa. And welcome to the club, welcome home. And I want to give a special shout out to everybody that subscribed to the channel in May. That's 1,639 people. So we are almost, so the goal was 1,000. Then we changed the goal to 1,005. Then we changed the goal again to 1,007 and 1,500. And now we're already at 93% of that goal. So that's amazing. As always, this show is sponsored by Shada. And for now, if you want to be a sponsor, hit me an email. And of course, donation links are here, there, yeah, or down below if you want to become a sponsor of the show. So let's kick it. The song you heard in the beginning is a song done by my boy Pedro Melo, Grim, me and Linsha. So it's a remix, but I released it as a single because it was a remix that came out late. So, or I had it late, or I saw it late, whatever. I decided to release it as a single by itself, as a Amapiano remix. So Amapiano is the new style from Pretoria, South Africa, and Alexandria, and it's from South Africa. And this is really another one of these genres that are coming from the depth of South Africa, where there's so much talent in there, and it's a kind of deep house with it's a kind of deep house mixed with Kwaito, and it has that vibe. It really has that vibe. Like the shakers are prominent, the drums, the kicks are less, and it's more very percussion based, and it has that very deep house lug drum bass that drives, and especially the electric pianos are in front. And what's interesting is it's about to take over the world, and every time there's something new that comes out, I want to put my hands on it. I want to try. I want to have fun. I want to be part of the fun. So that's what I do. I have a whole EP of a piano under the name Diamantero. If you want to check it out, it's called Bushy Love. Actually, you've been hearing it. I usually play it under some of these shows. So what else? So I released that new single. It's called so many icons. It is called Upside Down. So you can check it out here. New single, Kaysha, Upside Down. I'm a piano. So that's what you heard in the intro. If you were there at the intro. If not, you can go on Spotify and start streaming it like crazy, or Apple Music, or wherever you are, so we can see if I've had a streak of the last 4 tracks were Kizombas, and they all reached 10,000 streams. The one with Lisa is actually a hit. This one is already at 25 or 27,000 streams. But every other one is 10K. 10K is amazing for first week. The last track I did is probably around there. I didn't check tonight, but that's funny when it changed screen. That's the sound of it. Interesting. And the track you're hearing right now, it's gonna cut again. The track you're hearing right now is Where I Dwell. That's from Janamari. That's another one of my names. Yeah, that's another experiment of mine. So I have a lot of singles, as you can see, and I actually have 2 albums. One in 2015, and I mean just EPs, and 1 album, and it's just deep house. I've been doing Janamari since my first single came out in 2003. It's called You Can Do It. For those who think that I only do Zouk and Kizomba, trust me, you have no clue. And this is one of my favorite songs. I love it. I can listen to it all the time. Anyway, let me give a shout out to who's here. Maximum Records is here. What up, my brother? How are you? I hope everybody will be there soon. Yeah, I guess everybody's here. AJ, salute. How are you? Moto Music. Greetings, my brother. I hope you're fine out there in Canada. Hello, Julien. I hope you're good. Hey, Grim on the Beats. Congratulations on a new single with us. And get that beat prepared. Yo, Lil Maro. Is that single out? Let me see. I think the new single of Pearl that we had on the not yet. I thought it would be out today. Okay, not yet, I guess. When is it coming? That new single, Maro? Who looks young and fresh? It's just because I have my I guess forever young. I told you guys. Finishing the piano beat. Oh, already? Oh, you like me? You fast, huh? Ha! Okay, we gotta talk about that TV show interview. The story of the interview. Have you gone this much step in an interview before? Actually, the week before, I had an interview with some guys called Anormais. It's on YouTube too, and we had a 7-hour interview, and it was as deep, but it was all in Portuguese. I actually only did 4 live shows on Instagram Live, and only those kind. And yeah, like what I love about the 4 people that I had the conversation with is that we could go in depth, and they knew what they were talking about. I hate going to radios and I realized that I'm doing an interview with somebody who's just reading my Wikipedia and then just reading one sentence from the Wikipedia and says, and then your mother offered you a thing at 8. Tell me about it. And then, yeah, these are the most boring interview. I like doing interviews with people who know what they're talking about, who know who they're talking about, who understand. They took the time to do their research. So before doing the interview with Stevie, he actually told me, let me tell him that we're live if he's not sleeping, so he can come. Yeah, he's awake. He's probably editing a video as always. And I like working with people who have talent, and that. So when we decide to do this live together, this conversation together, he told me, okay, I need 3 weeks. I said, 3 weeks for what? 3 weeks. I need to listen to all your albums, all your songs, and go through everything, find stuff about you. I was like, wow. So yeah, that was super nice. And this is like 4-hour and 30 interview, like conversation. That was amazing. And the one with Anormais is very nice too. For those who speak Portuguese, that's a dope one. And did I do one in English? Actually, I plan to have Stevie come here, but that will be a show in French for those who speak French. And we will have another conversation of like this one, but I mean more about him, but also about the business in general. He's very he really love R&B from the 90s, the early 2000s, and he really knows what he's talking about. That's what I like about the interview. So for those who didn't see it, it's on his YouTube channel. I'll put the link somewhere if I find it. Hey Nadia, onde que tá o teu icon? Tu precisas de icon. Redinei, what up? Rebonjour. Normais, best live. Sim. O live com a Normais was crazy, olha. Stevie mandou mensagem. Tá a dizer que tá a caminho. He's on his way. Stevie just said he's coming, so. I should have him on the live so we can have a conversation about how he started and how, like the success of his channel. There he is. Yes, Stevie. We were talking about you. So AJ is saying that he loved our interview, our conversation, the whole four and something hours that we did, and. Yeah, we were talking about this, about the fact that it's refreshing to have conversation and interview with people who know what they're doing and who know what they're talking about, and who do their research before having you. I receive 5 to 10 emails or Instagram messages, DMs every day of people asking me if I can come to their live, we can have a conversation of 1 hour. And most of the time I'm like, I look at what they do and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not into it, or I'm not interested. I'm not trying to be rude, but something I learned in life is don't be scared to say no when you don't want to waste your time, because there's a lot of people you're going to waste your time. You're going to come here and they're going to ask you non-questions, or they're going to ask you questions that you've been asked 1,000 times. What I loved about my conversation with Stevie and all his conversation on his life that he's been doing with African artists, American artists, R&B artists, is that he knows what he's talking about, and it's not just insipid questions. And those who speak French, I urge you to go check his channel, because there's some great videos about R&B. Like, there's a lot of ton of things to learn. I'm waiting to see the video about me. It's gonna be one, maybe. Andre, how is it going there in Angola? Oh, Nadia, you will not understand? Well, Nadia, I will have the Anormais. I will have the Anormais on the channel too, because what I do usually when I do a live with somebody, I tell them, okay, I will have you also on my channel, so I can have we can continue the conversations, or have them again, who knows, so we'll see. Yeah, that's why I enjoy so much. He really did his research. I thought I knew a lot, but there's so many things I found out. I didn't see the 5 hours go by. Listen, I watched probably 3 hours of it, and my wife was looking at me like, "You nigga crazy. Like, are you gonna watch yourself again?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm loving everything I'm saying." Like, when you do a live interview, you don't really remember everything you said because you're just talking. Even like those ones, it's only when it's done and when I have to do the clips and I have to research something interesting so I can do 3-5 minute videos. That's when I realize sometimes everything that I said, because when I'm saying it, I'm just saying it. I'm here but not successful at all. Lol. Bro, you're super successful. Like, look at how many people are coming in your life for hours. Please. Malcolm Beats, boa noite, bruxo. I'm waiting for my remix. Send me the wave. This live is a classic. Bro, this live is crazy. This live is wow. Hey, what up, Rogi Music? Yeah, that live is it was a great live because we had yeah, I mean, I think we could have done another 2 or 3 hours, but 5 hours was too much already. But I can't wait for us to continue here, and I don't know if we'll. I never heard Stevie speak English. I have to see his interview with the American artist that he did to see if we could do it in English or do it in French. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe if his people come, maybe it's better we do it in French. I mean, you know this channel, we just speak the language of the guests. So whenever you see me speak Russian, don't worry. Hi, Jennifer. Nothing happened. I mean, the club is happening. You didn't miss that much. We're in the intro. We're starting. Maybe the question is, what is success for you? Indeed, very, very true, MJ. He might not see the success as we see it. It's like me. I mean, a lot of people see me successful. I just see me doing step by step, and I'm still see myself like this. So, yeah. We should do another one. That is for sure. I forgot what I wanted to talk about today. Yeah. So where do you want to start? You want to start with Joe Rogan, or you want to start with let's start with Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan, I don't know if you know him. He's a very successful podcast person, and he's so he has his podcast for I think since 2009, and so he's been on YouTube, and also the audio version of his podcast is also on Apple Music, in all the podcast players, and so what's interesting about that is that don't hesitate to put a like. What's very interesting about that is that the podcast space has been or the conversational space on YouTube, and a lot of people, they take what we're doing here, and instead of just having video content, they also just take the audio and they put it as a podcast. And so Joe Rogan has been super successful at it. He has a lot of people. He has a lot of people coming to his channel, and he just signed King Milton Cruz. Welcome to the club. We're talking about Joe Rogan signing an exclusive deal with Spotify, and then we'll talk about the guardians of the culture. So as I was saying, he has this amazing show, and you can look him up on YouTube, and the first, so Spotify has been playing music for a long time, but now they're moving into the podcast space. So you have to understand something about the podcast space. In the podcast, there's no exclusivity. Usually you can find any podcast player, and on that podcast player you can find all the shows that are available. And Apple, who invented, I think they coined the word podcast. They invented they have a directory of all the podcasts that everybody can use for their application. And Spotify, now that they're moving in the podcast, they are starting to take some people away from their platform and signing exclusive deals with them. So the first exclusive deal that really made a lot of noise, they've been acquiring a few companies, right? But on MySpace, one of the first exclusive deal that was significant was Joe Budden. They signed an exclusive deal last year so they could move the Joe Budden podcast out of iTunes, out of all the players, and they're still on YouTube, but they moved all the content exclusively on audio on Spotify. And the audio on Spotify comes out 2 days before YouTube, meaning that everybody who's a fan of Joe and wants to listen to him at the main time when it comes out, like me, I like to listen to it while I go jog, when I go do my 10 kilometers. I like to listen to either politics, either tech, or Joe Budden. Since they moved it to Spotify, I actually started listening to Spotify. To their podcast on Spotify. Actually, that's the only podcast I listen to Spotify. Everything else I listen on Overcast, because I think the Spotify, the app is not as well as polished and as finished and as feature. It's not enough features. Like when you compare to Overcast, it has nothing to do. But I mean, if it's just put your podcast and play, it's okay. So for Joe Budden, I actually listen to podcast there, and when I'm at night, I like to also watch it on my YouTube. But that was significant because all of a sudden Spotify gave value and brought, I don't know how much was Joe's deal, but I know he took a lot of money. But he created something. It showed that there was a value in there. And so, first of all, before we talk about Joe Rogan, why would Spotify do that? If they are the number one music player in the world, why podcast? Well, actually, Spotify don't make that much money on music. They actually lose money still. They still need to attain a critical mass of users, and 110 or 20 million is still not enough. They still need to go to way more people, so that, because for now all the money they make is paying operating costs and then royalties for the producers and artists. But with podcasts it's different, because if you own the podcast or if you license it, you can have all the people. Not only you don't pay like music, but not only you can funnel all the people who are coming for the brands that you acquire. Let's say I don't know, Club Shada becomes super popular. Every time we do an episode, we have like 20,000 people watching at the same time, millions of views by the end of the week, and they come and they give me a check to leave YouTube, to leave everywhere, and only have this play on Spotify. Then for them, what's interesting is that all the people who will follow the brand to their platform, then they will stay on the platform, and then they will go listen to some music, and it will have more monthly active users, and it will please the investors. like me, because as I have to disclose, I'm an investor in Spotify. I buy some stocks of them. I actually bought some more 2 days ago, and so the price. So how much they bought? How much did they pay to license and for Joe Rogan to remove all his content from YouTube, from all the podcasts and etc., and put everything in Spotify? They paid him $100 million. Effective September 1st, all the content is leaving all the other platforms and is staying on Spotify. And they will actually create on Spotify, they will change the platform so that you can have video content just for him and probably everybody else. So maybe Joe Budden will also have to remove his stuff from YouTube and keep it on only on Spotify. And since there's a Spotify app on my Apple TV, I can still watch the video on Spotify if I want. And I know that those are the people I will follow when I want to watch them. I don't mind going to another platform, and that's it. This goes to my point about all the artists doing their shows and their live and their stuff on Instagram Live, where Facebook is not giving creators any incentive to stay there because, you have a lot of people there, but you cannot monetize. They're not giving you any tools. The worst part is whenever you try to put a flyer, do something so that you can monetize, they will intentionally show your content to less people, and that's why I prefer YouTube far away, because I can add my stuff. I can have my donation link here. I can put some sponsors here. I can do stuff. I can even play an ad if I want. I can play a music video. There's a lot of things that you can do. It's more flexible, and so that's a very interesting moment, especially in the podcast space, because it means that Spotify just, first of all, they declare war to everybody else, because until now, podcasts were free to play from everywhere, and the way people were making money on podcasts were by having advertisers and talking about their sponsors in the beginning. So when you see a lot of video on YouTube and people are saying, "Oh, this is sponsored by Skillshare or Squarespace," that's usually how they make their money. I don't know how much they get per video, but usually that's how a lot of people, on top of the YouTube advertising money, they also get, depending on how many views they make for episode, that's how they make a lot of their money. For example, the business I do with my wife, a lot of the time she wears dresses from creators, and they will send her something for free. They will give her a dress, but they will also send her money, and I handle that part to wear and do a photo, because she has 200,000 followers on Instagram, and people are paying for the eyeballs. And so that was how the podcast space was working until then. And now Spotify decided to put a price on how much a superstar podcaster or content creator is worth. $100 million. Do you know how many streams an artist need to make $100 million? You need to do 26 billion streams. 26 billion streams. So that's super interesting. We'll see as musician what it means. Is Spotify going to put all that money on podcasts, and is it gonna be beneficial to musicians or not? Or is this time gonna be taken from our time? I don't believe so, because when I listen to podcasts, and when I listen to music, I listen to music. But that's a crazy deal. And that's exactly Motomoto. It's the best things that happen to podcast. Podcasting, like, just all of a sudden there's a value, and they decided that X millions of people watching you are worth X amount. So it means that Joe Budden was one of the first to do it, and that he actually was the most listened podcast on Spotify last year. So we'll see this year with Joe Rogan coming in. But what's super interesting here is that you can now create content, and you have an incentive to create content daily or weekly or bi-weekly, like we do. We come here 3 times a week, and you can know more or less, depending on how many people you have, how much you can sell that. Because, and again, we go back to my rant about performing live on IG just to please the people and just to have followers. If in the end you can't do nothing with these followers, or you don't know how to monetize these followers, it means you're dumb. You have at a point to have either a game plan to monetize those people in a way in the future because you have an album coming or something, or after the fact you have to give them something, sell a t-shirt, something, whatever. A lot of people don't see that because they don't think about the business side of things. They just think about the creation side of things. But you have to understand something. The platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, which is Instagram too, Twitch, and the rest of the platforms, they make money the more they have people using the platform. It's called MAU, million active users. The more million active users they have in the platform, and the longer they stay, the more money they can ask to the advertisers to pay for the ads that you see before and after the video. Sometimes you want to see a video, and if you can see the quality of the ads. If you watch a YouTube channel and there's only 5,000 views in the video, you will see that the ads are not interesting ads. It's gonna be like whatever ads that you see that is somebody who didn't pay that much. Over 1 million views, you start seeing movie trailers. You start seeing Netflix trailers. Those are premium ads. Coca-Cola, all these things. Those are premium ads, and they pay way more to be in the eyes of the super fans. And all this is a business that brings billions and billions and billions of dollars. And wait a minute, if you think that Spotify spent a lot of money, the shares of Spotify went up 17%. Just after they spent $100 million on Joe Rogan exclusivity, the share went up 17%, and they made from that money, their value went up 5 billion. So they spent 100 million and they made 5 billion. And I made some money too because my shares went up. Yay. Isa, welcome back. Isa, so Spotify is replacing YouTube. I think that's the best for creators. I don't know, sis. Spotify replacing YouTube. Anybody trying to replace YouTube is gonna be a hard. YouTube has been there for a long time, and on the video side, they got it on lock. I see the world like this. For music, Spotify is clearly the number one, followed by Apple Music. On video, user-generated content like what you are watching now, I think that YouTube is from far away the number one. And for live video, I would say that Twitch is a good contender, but yeah, YouTube is still like, I mean, I'm gonna think about me not as a creator, but as a content consumer. Whenever I want to listen to music, I go to Spotify. Whenever I want to watch content, and I'm here, I'm on my sofa, I take my remote control, I want to watch content, I'm gonna go on YouTube. Always. I want to watch the news, I go on YouTube. I want to know what's happening in France, or watch some shows in France. I want to go on YouTube. I want to watch Comedy Central of the YouTube. Any show I want to watch. If it's not on YouTube, I'm actually not watching it. If it's TV, I know they all have apps and stuff. They want me to go. I'm not interested. I want to watch music videos and I want to watch content. It's YouTube. Now, when I want to watch series and movies, it's Netflix. To me, like, all the movies I watch, if they're not on, and I mean, movies, it depends, because I watch some movies on the cable, because we also have on demand on cable, but all the series I watch, I think 90% are on Netflix. I also have Amazon Prime, so I watch a few things here, but the app is horrible, and Netflix is the best done, the better programmed app. I also have Apple Music, Apple TV, so I'm watching the morning show. That's a great series. And I'm waiting for Disney Plus to come here so I can watch Mandalorian and stuff. But I mean, I'm happy to say that I can use my YouTube money to pay for all that. Actually, I forgot to say that in a few months I will celebrate the fact that I've been on YouTube for more than 10 years. But in a few months, in November actually, I will celebrate the fact that my YouTube channel has been paying my rent for 10 years. So that's a milestone, but we'll talk about that in November. What was I saying? So yeah, as I was talking to Shada. I don't believe that Spotify can replace YouTube, but I think in the podcast space, I don't know, like, whenever you put a paywall on something that was free before, or you put an exclusivity on something, you might lose some people. And as a creator, it's a choice. If somebody told me, listen, Kay, so you have your show, it's on YouTube, sometimes you also play it on Facebook, sometimes you also play it on Facebook Live and LinkedIn, and then sometimes you planning on to put it on Twitch too. YouTube will give you, not even necessarily a lot of money. We'll give you 1,000 euros for each episode if your episode stay on YouTube, and we'll give you all the tools you need so that your followers can monetize it, can become members of your channel, can have a super chat so they can send money directly, and then even people can get a subscription on your channel so that you can, for example, do live shows only for members, for example. Because you have these on YouTube where you can say, okay, I'm gonna stream live, but only for the people who pay $3 per month or $5 per month. So those are things that they are already giving to some creators. They are also giving it to the live streamers, the gamers, and a lot of vloggers have that. But the music, the artists, and that's strange in this time, but the artists don't have that. So I've been talking to them with YouTube, telling them to move their ass, because for me, that would be the best way to do a live show. For example, I could say, okay, listen, I'm gonna do a show and I'm gonna sing, but it's only gonna be for the members who pay $3 per month. and I will do it in a month. So I give time to everybody to subscribe to my channel, and then after the show, you can unsubscribe if you want, or if you want to keep supporting the show, and everything is there. So me, I know that if YouTube gave me that something like that to stay, yeah, of course, I'm in. And that's exactly what Joe Rogan did. He received $100 million to live everywhere and give you and license my content exclusively. Oh yeah, I know that my diehard will follow. That's what's important. Your people will follow. Now all you need to know is, will I have? I'm sure they will put some clips on YouTube for promo. Now all you need to know is I mean, I don't know if it's I'm not so familiar with his show, but I wonder if is it live like this when people can comment on live and he's replying to the comments, or is it more a show when they talk between themselves and then maybe they can use Discord or another platform for the people to comment live. So I mean, it's not, yeah, it might not be a problem. I have a question for you. What are the difficulties you ever encountered in your music? Jennifer, you should see my episode of well, listen, you speak French, I think, because you're in Benin, right? You should see my episode with Stevie Music Feelings. This, watch on YouTube the Stevie Music Feeling Show, Kaysha. Search that, and you will know everything about what I went through and all the things I had to do and all the blood I had to give to that. I'm joking. The deal will shake the landscape, but it will open up podcasting dollar. The problem I see is it's become more of a celebrity space. So the solid financial deals would go to the established name first. Well, bro, as anything. What up, DJ Montero? Welcome home. As anything, bro, anything. Of course, if you have the name, and I think more than the name, the followers. Spotify and Apple Music used to do deals so that you put your album exclusively for maybe 1 week in there, just so that the people could come to the platforms, because it's a platform game. The days of podcast is as old as the iPod. I think, if I remember well, I don't want to say something stupid, but I think the name comes from podcast, from the iPod podcast. I think it was something like that. And when it started, it was like the FM radio in France back in the 80s, when there was a lot of pirate station. The thing were not regulated, and there's a point where regulations come, money comes in, and the money will not come to people who have 100 viewers. Of course, it will come to what is relevant, but at the same time, I really believe that it will help. It will help everybody, or it will silo. Because what a risk that can happen that now is that the other platforms start realizing that, wait a minute, Spotify are taking all the hip hop fans are going to Joe Budden, and now all the Joe Rogan fans are going to Spotify. So we're losing all these people, and they're not coming to the rest of our platforms. So if they're on Spotify, it means that they also will listen to music on Spotify, and that's the move for Spotify. That's the move for them. So Apple might say to themselves, so wait a minute, how much money we have again? 300 billions? Yeah. Yo, Kaysha, bring Club Shada exclusively to Apple TV. We'll give you, I don't know, 10 million. It's okay. That's enough. For 10 million, I come. And that might be what happens, where each platforms try to control the space by bringing people via their fans. And I mean, usually that's how they do, because you have to understand one thing. The problem with music, and that's the Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and everybody else's problem. The problem with music is that when you release a song, you release a song everywhere. No artist in their own right mind would release their music just on Apple Music or just on Spotify. That's stupid, because some people want to use Spotify because they pay a subscription. Some people pay a subscription to Amazon. Some people have a Google Music account. Some people have Tidal. So you need to release your music everywhere. So because there's no exclusivity in music with different content. So because they cannot become producers of music, because then there's a conflict of interest. So they try this. That's why they've been acquiring a different. It's coming. Apple. They love music, yeah, but music is in our DNA. But bro, music is 0.0000%, 1% of Apple's revenue. It's not music. They make a little bit of money from music, but just to pay their costs, and they probably have a little bit of revenue from that. But the main revenue from Apple is the iPhone. It's the iPhone, then it's the iPad, then it's the Mac. So what they want you is to be part of the Apple ecosystem, and they will use music or TV shows, and now you can get for $4.99 you get Apple Music with all the shows for all your family, and if you can get it for free if you get a new iPhone. But what they want you is to be in Apple platform and stay in Apple platform, and obviously they want you to buy an iPhone, and then they sell you the services, because that's a good extra, especially now that all the phones are starting to look the same and stuff. If you can pay, if you have 1 billion users of your phone that are paying, I don't know, $29.99 for music, TV, and movies, that's a no-brainer. That's how you make money forever. So all of them come from a different space. Spotify come from the other place. We've been having 100 million people playing music on our platform, and we actually don't make money. We barely make money, because all the music, we have to pay the royalties, we have to pay the publishing, then we have to pay the servers that we use because we don't own servers. So how are we gonna make money? How we make more money? Joe Rogan's case, we license. And they bought a big podcast company, and to get the exclusivity of that content, because that content, when people pay 10 per month to be able to listen to all the music they want on Spotify, they can also listen to podcasts. And when they listen to podcasts, we don't have to pay royalties to nobody. So they come in from the other side. They need exclusive content for people to actually make money from people staying on the platform, and they need all these people to come so they can also listen to music. And now they are creating their ecosystem. So on Apple, they started the ecosystem from the computers, of course, but from the phone. From the phone, then the ecosystem is building. They're starting to give you the podcast, the music, the TV, and they give it away because they want you to be in the ecosystem and to buy the phone. From Spotify, they had the content, but the content, everybody else has the same content. You look for Kaysha in Deezer, I'm here. You look at Tidal, I'm here too. So Spotify is coming from the other side. If you take Netflix, for example, Netflix used to rent DVDs. And at a point, they started to they have license deals with television to play their old catalog on a streaming service. And when Netflix exploded, all the TV got scared. And they were like, oh, in 5 years, we're not gonna renew our contract with you. because now people are staying more on Netflix than on TV. So fuck you. So what Netflix did, they did House of Cards. When they did House of Cards, it was their second exclusive, in-house product. All of a sudden, a lot of people came in Netflix for House of Cards. So they started doing new content, and now Netflix is almost full of their own content that they own. So Netflix gives $6 billion every year to creators to create movies and series for them, and they will give you the money. You create content for them, and at least they have content that stays here forever, because the goal of Netflix is to have subscribers keep paying $12.99 every month, and they have 170 million people in all around the world except China, so it makes sense for them. And yeah, I mean, the next thing they could do is say, oh, we'll add music videos, or we'll add music in your Netflix account. But that's funny, because at a point everybody becomes the same thing. But then at a point, when everybody will be the same thing, all the people will have the places where they listen to music anyway, and nobody will go from one place to the other. And I mean, I know the way I consume content. If you're not on Netflix, I'm not watching you. I have Amazon, even if I don't like it. Yeah, there's some shows there that I watch, but usually if you're not on Netflix, you're not on my radar. If I have a show that I really, really, really want to watch, I will subscribe to the place. And if the place where I pay is not available in my country yet, that's where I'm downloading like a pirate. But that's their fault. It's not gonna be my fault. It's gonna be them that are not making the content available where I am. To me, I decided 10 years ago that when you make content, it has to be available everywhere. If it's not available everywhere, it's your fault if people are pirating. Game of Thrones, for example, is the most pirated show in the world. But here in Portugal, I have HBO too. So at midnight, it's on HBO, and it's also on a channel called Sci-Fi at midnight. So we have two choices to watch it, and so I don't need to pirate. And in nowadays, come on. This celebrity issue is the same in South Africa. The same celebrities are actors, radio presenters, TV hosts, podcasters. There's no space for new talent. I'm gonna tell you the thing with new talent. YouTube is here. YouTube will always be here for the new talent. And YouTube is the place where you can create your space and your safe space for free. So look at us. It's been what? It's been a month? When did we start Club Shada? Don't remember. I think it was a month ago, yeah. The first one was with Body. It was called Testing the live show. And look at you guys. You guys have been here every episode. What is this? I'm not a new talent in terms of music singing. I've already presented a few TV shows, but for fun. But I never had a live show where I talked about different subjects for hours, 3 times a week. I never had that commitment because I'm so busy. But the quarantine gave me the time to just go ahead and do it. So, of course, the big companies will always make the dollar rain on people who already have a name. But yeah, that's the story of life. Nothing is given to you for free. You create your space where the people are not, and then you grow your space. Then you become a big name by doing and doing and doing and doing, like we are doing right now. And remember back in the days, I mean, there was always commenters and stuff, but it was probably 30% of what we have now. And I'm creating a space. And one day, if everything goes well, if I don't get tired of it, if you don't get tired of it, it might be that every time I go live, I have 1,000 people. Who knows? And the comment section goes. Who knows? It's been a month. Let's see in 1 month. In 1 year, sorry. Let's see in 1 year where we are, and maybe the big name that they will come to, the sponsors and everything will come. And I'm already talking to people. I'm already talking to people who are like, yo, I want to do an interview with I want you to do an interview with my artist on your show. I'm like, there's nobody watching my show. It's like, we 300 people watching. And you're like, nah, it's a great show. The conversation is great, da. We've been watching it. I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna have this soccer artist that I'm researching about him because his manager asked me for him to be part of the show. And why they love the show? Because I'm a musician like them. And I'm also a businessman, and we can have real conversations about the business. So, and every time I talk about my show to people, I do live, and everybody, yeah, we know, I've seen it. I'm like, wait a minute. There's a lot of people who are here. They don't comment, but they are watching what I'm doing. A lot of people, trust me. There are a lot of people who maybe they're not here at this time because maybe, I do it at night for now. But maybe when I start doing it earlier, maybe, I don't know, 2 hours or 3 hours earlier, maybe these people, there would be more people. And some people that, who was telling me this? Oh yeah, I cannot say his name. But I was having a conversation with somebody that is somebody. And I was telling him, you should watch my show. I talk about these things that we are talking about. And he's like, oh yeah, watch your show. I'm here all the time. I was like, huh? I never see you commenting. He's like, no, I don't comment. I'm just watching and learning. I'm like, wow. And I'm talking about people who invested in big novellas and TV shows and TV stations. Like, I'm talking about hot shots. And listen, when I do stuff, there are people watching. I mean, what can I say? It is what it is. I heard that now SACEM is paying them. That is true. Yeah. SACEM decided that when you do some shows on Instagram, you get I think 10 euros per show, per song, or something like that, which is great. I mean, the thing is this: whenever you playing music to public, it's called a broadcast, and the platforms are supposed to pay SACEM, depending on how much numbers they did, how many people watch the show, then they will pay a fee, and then SACEM will pay you back. Milton Kravitz, welcome to the club, welcome home. But overall, podcast content creators can monetize much better because of it. It has been always lacking in podcasting, so you step forward. Listen, Moto, you have a podcast. You've been podcasting for way longer than I mean, I don't podcast, but I mean, you've been in the space for a long time, so you know about it. A lot of podcasters liked the way it was, because in podcasting, I was listening to it's a tech podcast that I listen to called ATP. They talk about Apple products, and they were saying that they were happy with the way the space was, because it was monetization without really knowing the real audience, if I can say. It was more about, it's like radio. Okay, you have more or less that amount of people watching you every month. So to have our advertisements in the podcast. We will pay 5,000 to be in the intro, and to be in the middle we pay 3,000, and the slot in the end we'll pay 2,005. So if you can sell 3 of those for every episode you do, you actually make decent money. And they were not happy with the idea of analytics and stuff, because this might change the space too, and also send the advertisers to, or maybe create those automated advertising and send the money to other people, and especially the big shots. So it really depends. I think as a creator, you still have, especially when Spotify does that move, it also it legitimizes podcasting, because podcasting has been there for a long time, but it's only the last 2-3 years that it's starting to go up. But when somebody comes and say, okay, I'm going to put 100 million there, then all of a sudden everybody's like watching. And the fact that the stock went up too, this really probably shook up the things, and I think a lot of prices are going to change for a lot of things. And that's when it becomes interesting, because yes, of course, you can let YouTube monetize it automatically, or you can have sponsors now who will be like, hey, wait a minute, podcast is where it's at, because a lot of people listen to podcasts, a lot of them. I listen to podcasts every day, at least an hour every day. I don't take showers without listening to podcasts. I don't jog if I'm not on the phone. I'm listening to podcasts. So yeah, I think it's like you said. What about Patreon? I have Patreon actually. Patreon is great. I think the only problem of Patreon right now is that YouTube is adding all the features of Patreon in YouTube. So I hope I will have those features. I think that when I have, I mean, you can become one of my sponsors on Patreon if you want. The link is below. But I think that once I get access to channel memberships on YouTube, I will ask all my patrons to move to YouTube channel membership, because it makes way more sense to have everything on the platform. And that's the good thing about YouTube, is that once you have a platform where there's no friction between, because that's a problem with clicking a link. So if you're watching on your phone right now, there's a donation link here. You cannot click on it because you are watching the show. It means that you might, at the end of the show, maybe you're like, oh, I want to give him $5 or $10 or $20 for the content, and you might not do it just because you forgot, or because after the show you're tired, or whatever. What's interesting about the fact that YouTube is copying all the features from patrons and putting them inside of the chat, it means that if you go to some YouTube channels, you have on the chat you have a $sign. If you click, you can donate directly, and you can also or subscribe to a channel or become a member and pay $5 every month to support the channel. And once you have that, I mean, you don't need a Patreon anymore. And I guess Patreon is about to be fucked. I mean, for YouTube at least, but for if you have a podcast, yeah, you can use sites like Patreon, TP, and I know that Stevie Music Feelings use the TP. Stevie, why do you use? I don't know if you're still here, but if you're still here, I'd love to know why you decide to use TP instead of Patreon. Is it because it's a French company, or there's an advantage, and why don't you use? Because I know you have access to. We talked about it, but explain to the people why you prefer using an outside source than using YouTube when you have access to that. Indeed, Nadia. But then it depends. I mean, I know that if I did this on YouTube, I would have on Instagram, I would have more people. But yeah, it's a choice. You know, it's a choice. Let me try. Let me do my trick. Hey, that's my trick. I'd have to send I'm sending the Instagram people. I'm doing the trick of the other time. I always follow my friend Rahi's podcast on Facebook. So reaching culture and also talked about the problems African Europeans. Yep, true. Me and him been talking for a long time, and we actually will be on each other's spaces soon. I've known him for a long time. He's actually one of the first people I met when I arrived in Portugal. And he's a very intelligent and he has a very interesting point of view on things. And he's the type of guys that I like because he's super independent. And to me, that's the way to go. Hey, Instagram people, come on YouTube. I think what makes YouTube king is they figured out the monetization for content creators first, way before anyone else. Everything there is built around that, and the UX is smooth for the user. Thank you. Exactly. The lack of I always say that when you remove the hurdles and you make it simple for people to monetize and just to do click, by the time they say, oh, I want to give something, it's done. If they have to click somewhere, go somewhere, I have to subscribe to this place too, I have to put my name, my credit card. On YouTube, everything is there. It's your Google account, boom. And I think that Instagram lost a big opportunity by on the moment where they were that everybody went on Instagram to do battles, to do live, to do all those things. Instagram should have programmed super fast a way that people in the chat directly on the live chat could go and click somewhere and they could donate money for the chat to stay on top for, to stay on top of the live for 30 seconds. And you would have a lot of people who would say, okay, let's say you hear you talking and you people are like, please, can you sing? And you say, okay, if I reach 100 euros in donation, I will sing. If Instagram had installed that, and those who can give you just need 2 people, give you 50, boom, you're singing. And it would make sense to a lot of the artists to now do all these shows. And then they could save the content, etc. Or look on YouTube, the chat I'm giving an example. Sometimes you're doing a show on Instagram, you're having a conversation with people on Instagram, and you hear on Instagram, and you're having a conversation with people about what's in the chat, right? And so I can make the comment pop up, but even if I didn't, even if I was just replying to the people, you could see in the chat what I'm talking about, right? So you could also see it on Instagram while you're live. But once your live is over on Instagram, you cannot see the chat with it. Only the first 24 hours. When you save it on IGTV or you save the video, you don't have the chat with it. So all of a sudden you have somebody answering stuff, but sometimes if he's not exactly saying what is the question, then you don't know what he's talking about. So that's a problem. Let me tell the Instagram people. Instagram people, it was just to tell you that I'm on YouTube. So see you there. Bye bye. Yeah. I love that trick. Yeah, like you said, once you figure out a way to smoothly let the creators monetize, they stay there. So what Spotify is doing with Joe Rogan is saying, listen, okay, you know what? We might not have the monetization thing and whatever, but you know what? We don't know how much you make every year from your YouTube channel and your whatever. But we'll give you $100 million. Ciao, niggas. Of course, that's the first thing you do. You run to where it's at, right? And I think YouTube should now feel that pressure. I think that everybody lost a good opportunity while while quarantine was on. Everybody lose an opportunity to monetize all these content. There's been a ton of live shows on Instagram that disappeared. It was not even possible to save them now. You can now save your live shows only now. At the end of your show, they ask you, do you want to turn it into an IGTV? How these guys didn't think about this years ago. It makes no sense. That's a stupidity. Share the revenue. Tell the people, listen, every time somebody gives you $10, we'll keep $3, like YouTube does. Okay, I'll keep my 7, you keep your 3. It's all good. It's your platform. You make your money, I make my money. When I make €1,000 from my YouTube channel, I know that YouTube makes 700. And I don't mind. They take I don't remember if they take 30% or 40%, but I don't mind because I'm using this platform virtually for free. I'm not paying for the bandwidth, I'm not paying for the servers, I'm not paying to store my almost 3,000 videos, and I'm not even taking care of the advertisement and all that stuff. They do all that themselves. It's all good. Take your money. And I think that with the amount of people who were, and the amount of creators that were breaking all the records on D-Nice was the first, then the Quarantine Radio of Tory Lanez, then even 6ix9ine. Yo, that was an opportunity to help all these artists who are at home not making shows generate some income and not have to put a link that nobody clicks, because on Instagram you cannot click on the links. So if you don't want people to go on external links, at least prepare your platform, put a donation link, put a place where people can donate in the chat so that whoever wants to perform at least can, some people will pay. Like, just imagine, I've said it before, but when you go see somebody to perform, you pay. I'm not talking about let's talk just about a discotheque. Just like playback in a club. You're gonna pay €10 to enter. You're gonna pay another 10 to drink at least once. You're gonna pay another 10 taxi or oil to come to go, and another 10 to go back. So that's a minimum of €40 that you spend. So if you're with your friends, you want to take a bottle, the bottle is 300 or 500, okay, 50 each. So not only, like, some women will need, I don't have no dress that nobody have seen yet. So some people might go to Zara, get a €40 dress. So it means that sometimes people will invest between 40 and 100 to see an artist perform, right? Those people will not mind spend 10 to see the same artist perform virtually, or 5. They don't mind, because if you love a brand, you love an artist, you don't mind giving this artist money to listen to his music or to see them perform for you live. You don't mind. Some mind. It's okay. You don't need to be here. But if you have 300 people giving you €5, you're okay. You're okay if you do a show for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. If you do it every 2-3 days or every week, there you go. Your rent is paid, right? And that should have been made simple by all these platforms when the quarantine arrived. And I know I'm not saying that programming is easy, but I think it's a missed opportunity. I really think it's a missed opportunity. And that's why YouTube is king, and the Brazilians understood this, and that's why all their shows were here on YouTube with donation links. All these things that I have here, I copied these from Brazilian shows because these guys were ready. Crazy. Netflix is the best of the best. My pleasure, Isasha. This is I should call this the insight show. Yes, do not forget to like the live. Thank you, Stevie. When are you doing live on YouTube, Stevie? Why are you what do you so I know this is not a money thing for you, but I mean you have access to monetization on YouTube. But why did you decide to do your show on Instagram Live rather than on YouTube directly? That's a good question for me. And the subs. Yeah, it's a numbers game. Completely. DJ Show, what up? I have never watched Game of Thrones and I don't even want to. Nadia, listen. I'm like that too. When everybody talks about something, I don't want. But Game of Thrones is worth it. I think it's in the top 5 best television shows ever made. Really. I think my top 3, no particular order, is Game of Thrones. Hello. Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, and Sopranos. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. Overall, I still think you raised the best point about growing and owning your content, regardless of platform. You can wait to be invited to success. You have got to go for it with what you have. Exactly. And I think this is the mistake that most people do. They want to come where it's at. And they want to come with they want to come and be invited to the platform without and they want people have this feeling of like if everything is owed to them. You see what I mean? That the platform owe it to them to give them the best opportunities. The platforms don't owe you shit. The platforms are not here for you. The platforms, they use your content, of course, but the platforms are a business. The platforms are not your friends. Of course, if nobody puts content on YouTube, then, I mean, I think there's still enough content for YouTube forever, but I know that I come to YouTube for new content every day, but I come for, sometimes I watch what the algorithm is proposing to me because they know what I like. But a lot of times I come to see the exact people I saw yesterday. I come see my stuff about live shows. I come see my hip hop shows. I come see my French TV news, American news, Portuguese news. I come see my Star Wars related content. I come see my tech content. I come see my music related content. And that's what I come to every day. And my wife is the same thing. She come for her Brazilian channels, her creators, fashion, wigs, makeup, etc., etc. And she knows who she wants to watch because every time I look, she's watching at the same people. So the thing is not what the platform can do for me, is what do I do with my brand to make my brand so powerful that the people follow me anywhere I go. So I'm confident that if I leave YouTube today and I say, you know what, fuck it, starting now, I have a sponsor now, so Club Shada will be on Instagram. It's gonna be on Instagram, and you don't need to sponsor, you don't need to do nothing, because now I have somebody giving me X euros every time I do an episode. I just have to talk about them the first 5 minutes and talk about them in the middle and talk about them before the end, and then I can just call my guests via Instagram, and it's gonna be that format. I know that all of you guys will follow there because I'm confident on my brand. I'm confident on my brand power. I'm confident that wherever I decide to take this to, the people who get value on that content will follow that value where it's at. And I think we all have an Instagram account, we all have a Facebook account, we all have a YouTube account, and we all even have a Twitter account. So if I decide, you know what, I have a deal with Twitter, now the show will be exclusively on Periscope, so you can go with your Twitter account, this is a new address, I'm pretty sure that everybody will follow me there too, or Twitch or whatever. Like, it's, the thing is, before trying to make the platforms do what you want to do, it's better to educate your team. And when I say your team, it's not the people who work with you, it's you guys. Educate your team to where your music is, educate them to where your video content is, educate them to, and that's what I've been doing forever. My platform of preference is Spotify, so that's what I'm pushing more, but my music is everywhere else. My platform for video content, vlogs and live is YouTube. I decided that. And my platform to post photos and family stuff and fun stuff is Instagram. That's how I set up my content strategy. And most people, they follow me on one place, and from that place they go to the rest of the place. And I'm not giving them the same content everywhere, because then it's useless to follow me on every platform. But every platform has the content that is inherent to that platform, and then you build your brand, then you build your following. So I have 142,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have 142. Let me see on Instagram. On Instagram, I have 134,000 followers on Instagram, 45,000 on Twitter, 800,000 on YouTube, but it means nothing because the algorithm of YouTube is shit. Unless you pay, they don't show your content to people, so that's why I'm not even, I do live from time to time because there's still a lot of people, but and it's up to you to build your brand, and you never be dependent on the platforms, because the platforms can change on you from one day to the other. Actually, if the platform, like, I remember the days when the platform were not so strong, so I'm talking about 2005-6, all my fans were on Kaysha.com, and all the content was on Kaysha.com. And yo, that was amazing because I really had control over everything. And like everything I would put there, I would put music there, free music, it would become hits all around the world. But then the platforms became so powerful and cost less money, because at that time, the more people I had on my site, the more I had to pay at the end of the month. So it's a choice you have to make. So the choice I made is, okay, I will let the platform rules, but I'm gonna try to create my platform inside of the platforms using the power of my brand. And that's all I do. And every time I have a new project, I go to the same process. So you see, it's been a month that we've been doing Club Shada, and that's the process. Come at a time, come unannounced, and start creating something. And then at a point when I'm on point, I will be like, okay, starting now, Club Shada will be Wednesdays at this time and Sundays at that time. And then you can, but that's when you grew. For now, we're just growing. I'm cultivating right now. I'm cultivating the thing, and then after that, I will decide what I do. But I don't mind the platforms because I want to be the platform. See what I mean? Like I said, it's the stadium mentality. You don't want to be a player. You want to own the stadium. So if you own the stadium, let's say that the stadium is your platform, then you can pay all the players, meaning that you make enough money, but you control what's in the stadium. But YouTube is a city. You don't own the city, but you own your stadium in the city. So that's what you have to build as a content creator. You have to try to create a space where wherever you go, all your people follow you with you. And that's the stadium. That's my mentality, the stadium mentality, which is, okay, I come to YouTube City, build my stadium. I come to Instagram City, build my stadium. I come to Facebook City, Twitter City, build my stadium. Inside my stadium, my rules. But that's inside of the city still. And then if there's a new platform tomorrow, you just tell all your people, hey guys, I'm there. They will go with you. And that's exactly what Joe Rogan created. And that's why he's worth 100 million. That's why he could sign that deal. And that's exactly the reason why Joe Budden also did his podcast and refused a ton of deals for a long time until he had also the exclusive with Spotify. And I'm probably sure that when his contract ends with them, seeing the numbers that Joe Rogan did, Joe Budden probably will renegotiate his contract seriously. That's the thing about this live. I always leave here wiser. Music and video, that's why I'm here. Thanks, my brother. I mean, like I said, that's the point with me. I like to leave people with either happy heart or value. And whatever, I mean, if you're happy and if you live here with value given to you, that's exactly where it's at. And donation link, the donation link is down there. Actually started podcasting in 2007 after I got fired from a radio station. Sometimes a setback is an opportunity. Yes, I'm gonna soon do the listening session of my second album, Worldwide Chico, and I have a video on my YouTube about failure when I say what I learned about failure, and the failure of that album taught me a lot of things and actually took me to where I am today. So it's gonna be an interesting conversation. DJ Gellas, what up, my brother? I hope you're fine. How are you? I saw your live today. Was it? Yeah, it was today or yesterday. It was cool. Yeah, sometimes getting fired gets door to opportunity. Listen, sometimes the haters give you great opportunities. It's because it's French. I asked Music Fini why he used TP instead of Patreon, and he says it's because it's French and it was an error. What you mean it was an error? Was it an error? Okay. Patreon is better because you can actually have exclusivities for people who pay. Yeah. So why don't you move from TP to Patreon then? Do you have too much people on the TP or... Listen, Stevie, forget Patreon, forget... What is this noise? Ah, a truck. Yeah, forget Patreon, forget fucking TP and use the tools you have on YouTube. Use the membership. Put memberships on your channel, because then you can do exclusive videos, or you can, for example, you can directly in YouTube say, okay, this video will go out 2 days before, only for the members. And you can do lives. For example, you can do a live on YouTube. That's an amazing feature that I can't wait to have. You can do a live where only the paying members, first of all, the members on your YouTube channel, they have a special icons, they can have a special emoticons, they can have a special stickers, and you can have a live where only the members can comment. So for example, let's say you do a live where the first hour everybody can comment, and then you have a second hour where only the members can ask questions. This is a good way to have people being like, oh, you know what, let me give him $3 every month or $5 every month. And because if you can have great content with great quality, let's say that every time you do for example, use TV, every time you do a video about an artist, then usually I know what you do is you do a live on your Instagram. But imagine that you decided that now you're gonna do this live on YouTube, but only for your paying members. Just imagine the opportunity here. Thanks for the IG alert. It worked. You read me 30 minutes later because I talk too much. I can't stand the fact that 30% of the money is going to YouTube. Bro, listen, it doesn't matter. The thing is this: if you make $100 or €100 every month from TP, and they only take 5%, and then on YouTube you can make 300. Even if they take 30%, you still make more money than on the other one. So just forget that 30% thing. Like, yeah, of course they take this amount because they serve you all these people who are they already have the credit card, they're already here, and plus everything is integrated. That's why it costs that much. Have you ever watched Listen, I only watched five minutes of The Wire, and I've been wanting to start this show forever. Since before moving from France, I wanted to watch The Wire, but I never took the time. I really have to. And the only thing right now that I've is that the image is square, like it's before 16:9. But yeah, I have to watch The Wire. That's a major show, I know, and I never took the time. There's so much shows. Like, listen, like Netflix, YouTube are endless pit of content. It never stops. There's always some new content, and like when you miss something, yeah. Nadia, watch it. Nori I saw there was nothing to honor legends in hip-hop culture, so he created Drink Champs. I don't know if it exists in culture, but Club Shada starting to fill in that void. You tell your own story. Well, listen, I don't really know why I started. It was just that the frustration of the limitations of Instagram, but yeah, then I can have my own narrative, and I think it's important to be able to have a space where you can tell your story. And I know that through my vlog, I've been able to tell a lot of my stories on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, listen, when I was watching Reza versus DJ Premier on Instagram Live, and the sound was so horrible that I could not understand why everybody was happy. Because me, I'm a hip hop head. and I need my bass. I need to put my headphones and listen to everything, and the sound of Instagram is horrible. It's a nightmare. To talk is different, but to do a battle, like, can you imagine? You take this screen and you divide the screen in two here, right? You put one artist on the side, the other one on the other side, and you do a good production where the sound sounds great. And you just talk to the guys on YouTube. You do a deal where you talk to your record companies and you tell them, hey, listen, we're gonna do a battle. You guys don't block the sound and whatever. Since it's our songs, you put everybody together and you do those battles with the real sound, like here. Can you hear the quality of the sound? Listen. So imagine if you had all those battles like this with this sound quality. That would be such a bliss to listen to Jill Scott and Erykah Badu like this. And look, Erykah Badu, check on her YouTube channel. Go check the lives that she did on YouTube. Listen to the quality. Listen to what's his name? Lucas Luco, the Brazilian. Check his live on YouTube. I don't understand why anybody would prefer doing a live on Instagram when everybody that has an Instagram account also has a YouTube account. And all you have to do is tell them, I'll be there. Yeah, we'll do it at this time. And you know what? There's something that people don't even realize. All the versus battles of the Teddy Riley versus Babyface, the Ludacris versus Nelly, all of them. Some people, they just hijack, they put the feed from, they take the feed from Instagram on the desktop and they play it live on YouTube. And there's a bunch of people who are there commenting on YouTube too. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it's just a question of being able to see forward and take the right risk to be on the right place. And we'll see. That's all I have to say. Is there 3 o'clock in Benin? Sis, it's 3 o'clock here in Portugal too. Have a good night, everyone. Good continuation. Thank God to keep us. Jennifer, one love, and I hope to come back to Benin. It's been a lot of time that I haven't been in Lomé, and I liked it there. It was cool. And you also allow others to tell their story through this space. Indeed. Yeah, that's what I do. I believe that it's important to create a space where you can have stories told the right way. And I think my space, music feeling space, for those who speak French, are spaces where people can really have a good conversation and tell their stories and learn and listen after the lives I did in this platform and on his platform and on the Anormais platform. Actually, what's super interesting is that the private messages I get from people are, wow, respect. Hey, thank you, Milton Cruz. Thank you, King Milton Cruz. Bless you. Yeah, and I think it's super important to be able to be in a safe place. And what is great about this content, that if you look at the numbers of the first episodes, they are now all reaching 1,000 play. It means that there's a lot of people who don't watch the stream live, but they come back to watch it after. And that's what's important, is I'm creating content that will be there. And you know, when you create content that is there, let's say that we do let's say 100 episodes from now, right? I will have 100 episodes. That's 100 videos that can go on TV, can go on other platforms, can be cut into small videos of 10 minutes to put on Instagram, and that's content. And the more content you own, the more space you own in the mind share, and the more leverage you have when somebody is asking you, like a Joe Rogan, yo, we would love you to leave this platform and to go to our platforms. We'll give you that much. Or even just YouTube telling you, we would love you to stay on this platform and we will give you the tools you need to stay on this platform. I'm talking to the guys at YouTube. I'm talking to them not by email, by WhatsApp. And I'm like, yo, look at what I'm doing. And I'm like, give me the tools that I need, because I decide to stay on your platform because that's the one I choose. But I need this, and this. And The Wire is great for life lessons and business too. Some of my top 3 along GOT too. Listen, the only thing I don't like about GOT is when it becomes too dead stuff. I don't like. Other than that, yeah, the strategy of it. That's also why I love The Sopranos. And listen, Breaking Bad is just amazing television. I think Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones changed TV. What I'm watching now that I love is The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. So I'm a Star Wars fan, so The Mandalorian is amazing. I also just finished the Clone Wars. It's animation. Also one of my favorite movies of all time, but that's an anime, is Ghost in the Shell. And there was one series, not the new ones, but the old one, Ghost in the Shell, the standalone complex. If you like manga, that's like out of this world. I watched yesterday a live with the beat makers of Trap Beat. Yep, me too. I was watching, what's his name? Mira, that's his name. He makes like 5 hours just making beats on Twitch. And yeah, like, I love watching people because it inspires me too. Well, as a beat maker, you watch people, you watch their workflow, it gives you idea on your own workflow. Many people are spending more time on IG, so it's easier. Indeed, Nadia, indeed. That's the reason why a lot of people are being lazy and they go where it's at. But Facebook is notorious for not sharing the money with the creators. They tell you, oh, it's a great platform to share with your friends, and that's what you do. You give them a ton of content, and then one day you wake up and you have half of the likes or your followers don't see your content anymore because they changed something. YouTube, on the contrary, from the beginning, decided that they wanted to let creators become like, some creators have been making their lives on YouTube. Yes, there have been problems sometimes. Yes, sometimes the advertising are being bullies and YouTube have to make choices that are bad for creators sometimes. But it is a business. But what I always liked, listen, like like I was saying earlier on, I was watching my analytics on YouTube today, and I just received payment from YouTube this morning. I don't even know how much, but YouTube has been paying my rent since 2010. Can you imagine? And I'm talking about all the videos that I've been putting on YouTube since my first vlog. My first vlog, like, I don't even know what is my first vlog. Let me see. Kaysha vlog 1. Let me see. I think my first vlog is in Saint Tome. Let's see. Vlog 1. Yeah. Look at this. That's my first vlog. Let me turn off the music. So I upload this in YouTube in 14 years ago. That's in 2006? 14 years ago. Can you imagine? It's a video of 26 seconds. That's me. So do you imagine that all of these little girls, they now are 26? How old were they? 10, 12, 13? They all now must be mothers. Can you imagine? And look at this comment that made my day. I put here. So 3 years ago I commented, 10 years later, all these little girls must be grown women now. I have to go back and make another video. And one of the girls replied, "Hey Kay, I'm one of these girls." Wow. Well, she doesn't have a real channel. It's just an account. Can you imagine how amazing it is to know that you've been making content for all these years, and you got some people who when they were kids, they met you, and now they hear, like, they can go back on your channel and they can see themselves when they were 10-year-old, and now they 24, 25, 26. That's what's amazing. And so when YouTube approached me 10 years ago, and they told me, it was 10 years ago, maybe more. I think it was 10 years ago. And they told me, we would like to welcome you in the monetization program, because I had 30 million views already at that time. The first check they sent me, I think, was 800 euros after 1 month. And my rent at that time was 950, I think. Yeah, it was 950 in Paris, or 850, I don't remember. I think 950. So all of a sudden, I had almost my rent paid, and then the next month I think I had 1,000. So it means that 10 years ago, the worst part of the month, which is paying the rent, that problem was solved. And because that problem was solved, this unlocked a lot of my ambitions, because all of a sudden, when a lot of people are scared to take risks because they're scared to lose their place and then not being able to pay their rent, my rent was paid by YouTube. Which means that when I wanted to try something new, I was not scared. When I was making something that people were saying, yeah, but it's not a hit like the hits that you used to do, I didn't care either, because I was like, no, I'm building something, don't worry. Yeah, but we need a hit. No, you don't worry. And I could take a year, 2 years, 3 years to implement myself in any style or try new stuff. For example, somebody could say, why you wasting your nights doing live shows for where you could do music videos or work on singles and stuff that bring you more money. The fact that I know that my rent is paid by YouTube since the last 10 years, I can take the time to install something. And that's the first part of the independence. How you become independent is when you can create recurring revenues that make your income become steady. That even if you don't make any money, like I haven't made a show for way before the quarantine. I think probably 5 months I haven't made a show. And I could not care less, because every month, I mean, YouTube, I say YouTube pay my rents, but I pay my rents once a year. I pay everything in the year because Spotify actually pays my rent. The first 2 months of Spotify pay my whole year of rent. But all this, it started with this idea that, oh my God, YouTube pays my rent now. It means that even if I make a mistake, even if I try something, it doesn't work, I can stay confident that my rent is paid. And I can stay confident that I can try again in the same place 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 times until I realize it's not working. A lot of people, they want to try something, and sometimes before they're like, I have to pay my rent. Let me go back to what people know me for. And what happens is that when the trend changes, you get washed away. And that's what happened to a lot of people in the Zouk industry, in the Kizomba industry, is that they're scared to do something new. They're scared to try other things. They're scared to try to go to other countries because they're scared for their rent, or they need to buy the milk for their children. And the fact that I worked first on making sure that this level was done, it gives me the possibility to say to myself, you know what? Even if I don't do shows, even if I have like 3,000 videos plus 500 songs that are already there, that are paying the rent, are paying food for my wife and my 2 kids, and electricity and school. And since this is done, everything else is the bonus. And then you can invest your energy in the future. So in 5 years, if Club Shada is a success, you can come back and watch this video and understand why it's a success, if it is. But for the rest of the things I've done in my life, in my business life, producing other people, producing myself, creating all the masters, or making every song. I have the conversation with artists all the time. Okay, a song every Friday, isn't this too much? I'm like, guys, don't worry. I'm not in the same business or the same game as you guys. You guys are trying to make shows. I'm creating catalog, meaning that when I'm 80 years old, my catalog hopefully still generates rent for my wife, for my kids, or something that comes. Copyrights, monetization, this, that. And this is building assets that will, for the future, you can, one day if you decide, you can sell everything for a big amount of money and pay a house to all your kids and your family, your mom, etc., etc. So those are the things that I'm thinking about when I'm doing those things. Yes? Hã? Fones. Todos os fones dessa casa desapareceram. Pensei que tu roubaste tudo. My wife. Yeah, so I was saying, it's a point of view. It's you know. Me too, but not everything, not all the styles. I know who you're talking about. The one from the UK. Patricia something. Yeah, it was interesting. She just bought a compound of houses now. She's brilliant. That girl is super brilliant. Yeah. I've been following her and her husband and two kids. She's absolutely a brilliant person. Some people have been creating. Once you understand how the big problem of the people is that instead of trying to understand the platforms, they are trying to make the platform work the way they want, when what you have to do is understand how the platform works. Once you understand how the platform works, then we are on another conversation. And a lot of people, they don't have this conversation. They're not trying to understand how the platform works. Yeah, exactly, Patricia Bright. You have to understand how the platform works so that you create your content according to, or you can hack it, but you try to create a content that works for that platform. A lot of people, for example, I don't believe in, I'm not saying it's not good because I do it too, but I don't think it's the best of the ideas to create content on Instagram and then repurpose it, like put it back on YouTube, for example. I think in this case, it's better to just leave your content on IGTV. If I create content for Instagram, I'm gonna put it on Instagram. Some of it from Instagram, like for example, the battle between me and Nelson, I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel. So it depends from content to content, but I try to keep my Instagram content on Instagram, and then unless it's stories, sometimes I would take my Instagram stories and put them on YouTube. But then when I want to do something for YouTube, I prefer, if the end place is YouTube, then I prefer creating YouTube content. See what I mean? Maud? That's a procurar. Okay. So that's the way I see, and that's the way I do content strategies. And how amazing is that you already have two full generations of people that grew up on you, about to be free. Yeah, I think I'm already at the third generation. O que estás a procurar, amor? My God. No. Por que precisa de fone? Praxe? A Nina tá dormindo. See, my sister-in-law stole my place in the bed already. I'm stuck here with you guys. Tá no teu quarto? Praxe? Usa os teus fones. C'est la vie. She always put her stuff somewhere and lose them. Yeah. Yeah, that's, it is crazy to think that you have generations of people. Like, when I started my album was in 1998, the first album. That's 22 years ago. Some people became grandparents. Like, that's crazy. And some people tell me, yo, when Kaysha di Quoi came out, I was 9 years old. Now I'm 24. It's like, my mom used to, wow, that's the song of my mom, da da da. Or I remember when I did the video for Viver Senti, the model told me, actually so I hire her from a model website, and so I told her, yeah, I'm Kaysha, I do this type of music, etc. That's a few of my songs, and I would like to hire you for a music video. So I paid the agency, and then when she came, she told me that she was American, but she had, I think, her Samuel Fontius, new subscriber, hello. She told me that her father was Cap Virgin, and that when she told her father, I'm gonna shoot a video with an artist from Portugal or France or whatever. I think it was in France at that time. An artist from France, and she said, oh yeah, what's his name? And she was like, oh, Kaysha. Oh my God, Kaysha. And her father was super happy, and she was like, wow, my father was very, very happy to know that I'm shooting with you. So, I mean, he said hello. He said that he loves your songs, this. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And she was like 23 or 24 years old. And yeah, that's crazy. Like, and it's, when you've been on this game for so long and you've seen so many people come and also so many people go, and so many careers that have been, that haven't succeeded, it is it's strange when you're like, wow, I've been here for a long time. Like, sometimes I watch my old vlogs or my old photos from places, and now I'm happy that I've always filmed everything and I always take photos of everything, because then I can look at those memories and be like, wow, look at what we did. Like, I was talking with Eligio today, and I was like, yo, we did this, we did that. Look, wow, look at us in 2004, not caring, like, just we here, and look at today, Hey, Joel, what up, cousin? I hope you're fine. The famous comfort zone. Mm-hmm. I used to we enjoy your company. Hey. I used to just do content in one place and then put it everywhere, but actually it serves no purpose, because actually the people who are enjoying your content, it makes no sense to have them go from follow you everywhere and then see the same content everywhere. So you have to take the time to choose one or two platforms and then serve those platforms with different stuff. So what you put on stories is something that is specific to stories. What you put on TikTok is gonna be funny or dancing, whatever. When you're gonna put on your posts, it's gonna be either small clips from Club Shada plus photos, family, whatever, fun stuff. And what you put on YouTube is gonna be your vlogs and your conversation or your life. Or maybe some people will just put the music videos and shows on YouTube, and then we'll take the conversations to Instagram Live. It's up to you. But if you start putting the same content everywhere, then some people, they will not watch it on Instagram, for example, because they already see it on YouTube, and so they will not watch it, so they will skip it. They will not put a like, and the platform will be like, I guess this person is not interested in that person. So then they will stop serving your content to those people, and then that's when you start losing your viewership, because the platform, the algorithm is like, yeah, nobody's watching. The biggest challenge is where, when, and how to put the stuff separated or where they belong. Well, listen, it's like everything. You try, you try and you see where it fits. I think that's the best way to see it. I mean, it's really up to you, and I put some stuff on Instagram and I see what works and what doesn't. Some stuff I know it works, but I try to diversify what I post. I'm gonna post some proverbs, some positive phrases. Then I'm gonna put some funny stuff. Then I'm gonna put some family stuff. Then I'm gonna put some music stuff. Then I'm gonna put some clips of Club Shada Live on IGTV, 1 or 2. Then I'm gonna put stuff from my brand Shada Wear, and then I'm gonna go back like this, like on a circle, but on a cycle. Sorry. But the thing is, consistency is what's the more important. When you are consistent with what you post, and you consistent, but at the same time diversified, then you start creating your following. And some people might not follow you for what you thought. That's what's interesting. If you post something, and one day I post something funny, somebody falling or some shit like that, and me, I was like, but then I received 100 comments, and then I was like, all right. Then I start posting more. And my channel is not a fun channel. It's the channel of a creator. But people like that, and it brings me a lot of followers. So then I kept doing it. But those content, I would not put them on Facebook, for example, or YouTube. No, on YouTube, for example. Because on YouTube, I really want to put some quality image, the vlogs, the things that have a different quality sound, etc. If I wanted to do a show, I wouldn't do it on Instagram, because of the money part, first of all, and at the same time because I feel more safe with the quality of the content that I can do on YouTube. So it's up to you, depending on what you do, to decide where you put the stuff. And sometimes you just try. You can put the stuff on 2 different places and see where people like it. There's no real rule. As long as you try and keep trying, and if it doesn't work, it means that it doesn't work. And I think the big problem of people is that they're scared of losing. They're scared of trying because they're scared of stuff not working. But stuff don't work all the time. It's all right if it's not working. Try again, then try again, and if it's still not working, try something else. And it's okay. Nobody will kill you before it didn't work, because it didn't work. And I really think that there's a lot of things that work that you can find. You can watch how the others are doing. It's okay to be inspired by other people without copying, just to understand how they do, what is their workflow, what time they post, and how, and look at the structure of how they post, depending on, if of course, people who are in the same field as you, if you're into makeup or beauty influencing, well, follow 20 people that you really like and look at what they do and see how they post. Look at the amount of quality they put or not in their posts, and look at what their people like, and then start doing your thing with your personality. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just customize the wheel to have your personality, and then you see what works. Consistency is the hardest part. True. Most content creators post a lot at first out of excitement, and then it fades away and they fail to stick to schedule. That's the first mistake. Listen, I'm not a schedule guy, and that's why I'm still doing this show as it comes. Try to be at the same hours, more or less. I would love to start at 10 p.m. Portugal time, which would be like 2 hours earlier. But I guess when life goes back to the new normal and my daughter goes to bed earlier, I'll really do that, and I'll just have my days where I do this because it's fun, and I'll probably do 2 episodes per week. Or more, depending on how things go. And but yeah, I'll be consistent. That's for sure. Like, of course, in a way, I'm consistent because I'm still live at certain hours, right? But what I'm starting to think of is now putting, every time I have a guest, for example, or every time I'm gonna do my live on the same day or the day before, being able to say a day before, I'll be live this day with that person and have a flyer, for example. Those are the type of thing that I'm planning for the future. But the thing with me is, before I get there, I take my time, and I have the time. So I do it in a way where I really want to be comfortable myself in this place, and I don't want to be committing to something and then not have nothing to say at a point. I guess I got a limited stuff to say, so it's okay. But so that was a very interesting episode. 2 episodes ago, for example, Sammy Sam, my guest, the beat maker, who has a lot of talent, was obviously drunk, and I was rewatching the episode of him. Like, I was like, yo, he's still saying the things you want to say. Like, this is a real convergence. Like, the guy is out there, but he's still making the point about the things he's saying. But I was looking at my face and I was like, wow, like you could not see if I was upset, if I was like, oh my God, or like, oh, I mean, we still had a 1-hour conversation, and it was interesting because I was like, is he struggling? Is he okay? That was fun. And but that was great because, I mean, of course, he sent me a message. He sent me a message the day after. He said, "Oh, bro, I'm so sorry. I got emotional. That was the first time talking with you, and then I drank a bit to ease up, and then I drank too much." And I was like, bro, it's okay. Like, it's all good. It was still a great show, and we still got your point across, and we could have a great conversation. Of course, it would have been better if you were completely in your zen state, but I mean, we can do this another time. It's all good. And you will drink water this time. But it's great to see how you can react to these kind of moments, and how you can improvise actually to take the lead on the show, because there's a lot of times that people will not be able to handle things, or handles haters or crazy people, or let's say the number of people watching is multiplied by 10. So all of a sudden the comment section it's not gonna be easy to handle like right now, because I can talk, then I look at the comments, and then I can go to the comments still. There's some people, like there's a girl that I follow, Lovely T. Love her content, but when she goes live, she has 8,000 people watching at the same time, and the comments are going like I don't even know how she sees comments. And so that's when you need like a moderator or two, when you need people to block the bad people. You need people to show you when there's a comment that's worth reading, and etc., etc. But like all this is super interesting, and I really like to take the time to create something and to see how, if people are enjoying this and enjoying the company first, before saying, okay, that's the schedule, and actually I probably will do a show when I'll say, okay, what is the schedule? When do you want this show to air? What is the best way to do it for you guys? Yeah. Listen, Nadia, that's true. It's a bit more professional because it's done this way. It's done to replace TV, more or less. It's done to be like watched on your mobile, of course, but also on your TV. So it's completely different. I remember on the old vlogs, you used to do this thing called La Voix du Sage about. You know what? Actually, it was not La Voix du Sage, but yeah, I have La Voix du Sage, of course. But there was this one called Conversation Philosophique that I was doing with my best friend in French, and I think I would love to have her come, and we do Conversation Philosophique in French, where we talk about relationships. That could be super interesting to have her from time to time and do it live, because the last time she came to Portugal, we didn't have time to do it. She came for the wedding, and the other time she just stayed like two days, and we didn't have time to do it. But now that I have this setup, she can call on Skype, and we can definitely have a philosophical conversation. In that sense, many creators struggle with the discipline and focus needed to get a good consistency of creating and posting content. That is very true. A lot of people think it's easy to just have the good idea, but like I always say, having a hit is easy. A career, it takes a good 10 years, and you have to be willing to take the time and make the sacrifices. When I say schedule, I mean more regularity rather than specific. It's point for indeed that you mentioned earlier. Yeah, true. You have, the thing is this, like, if you do it enough, and that if let's say you don't do it for a week, and the people say, oh, I miss it. Oh, wait, where's Kaysha? That's mean you have a winner. That means that, the people are here with you. And then you also have to decide like how long, because I think 3 hours is long. I think 2 hours is cool. I want to maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the subject, of course. But yeah. First one, hey, hello Kaysha. I would like to know what advice can you give me. I want to enter the world of music, but I don't know how to start. I live in Guinea-Bissau, and this year I'm going back to Portugal. My only advice is get at it. Like, record something. It's easy to find beats now. Like, there's a ton of beat makers who want to make a name for themselves. So do a deal with them. Give me 5 beats, and I'll sing for you on 5 songs. Of course, they have to like your talent, your voice, and then you record. If you have money to invest in a studio, then don't go to the studio. Take that money and buy a microphone, or see if you know somebody who has a home studio and can record you at home. record one or two songs and release them. Release them on it costs you 20 euros to release them on all the platforms. You can use CD Baby, or you can use DistroKid to release your music, and then you put it on the platforms. Open a YouTube channel. Also put the audio of your song without a music video. If you don't have money to make a video, put the audio on YouTube, and then use Instagram to promote your music to the people. Use Instagram Live to sing live from time to time for your new followers, and have conversations with your new fans and friends. And when you have enough money to shoot your first music video, you can either put it on your YouTube channel, but if you don't have no followers, then you will have to build, or you can put it on a channel like My Skizomba that has 1 million followers, so at least it will give you a good head start, but also put it on your channel. And then repeat to infinity. You handle the Sammy Sam lead situation like a pro. God bless the brother. Just happy that this is a positive community where people kept their cool in the comment. Yeah, exactly, true. And yeah, he has a lot of his friends were making fun of him. So I was laughing, but it was cool. It was cool. What do you think about SoundCloud? SoundCloud is great to discover a lot of talent. Of course, they got hit with a lot of copyright strike because a lot of people were uploading the content of other people. So I believe it's a great platform. I got my traction there too. The thing is, my problem right now with all these platforms is that all these platforms want you to, like me, when I upload one time in my distribution on Believe, and they upload everywhere. And SoundCloud, I have to upload again myself. That's why I don't upload everything on SoundCloud, because I also have monetization. When you listen to my music on SoundCloud, I get paid too. But I'm waiting for them. I know they have a deal with my distributor, and I'm waiting for them to start distributing my content also on SoundCloud directly, so I don't have to do it myself. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's a great platform. There's a lot of trap artists and a lot of house music artists that get discovered on SoundCloud. I think the platform changed a bit, and I think I preferred the platform before. That's my opinion. Okay, guys, it's almost 4 a.m. I'm just gonna go to the second part of the things that I wanted to say. I'm done. I'm gonna keep it for another day. Always Dropbox, brother. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about. Do I have the time? Do I leave it for another time? DJ Royalty checking in from New York City, showing some love. Bless up. So the third and last topic I wanted to touch. Thank you very much for the advice. I was with you when you came to Bissau, but you probably don't remember. I will follow my career one day. I hope to collaborate with you. You are an inspiration. Thanks a lot. You were with me, and when I came to Bissau, well, you're gonna have to send me a photo because I came 2 times. So yeah, lovely. Listen, when you have your first song, make sure you email it to me so I can give a listen. What I want to talk about before I leave you to your occupations and I don't take more of your time, I want to talk about the culture. I want to talk about the guardians of the culture. I've been seeing a lot of people recently in my comments and in my Twitter feed and on my Instagram tell me that, yo, you have to do something. You have to save Zook. Zook needs to return. Can you do something? Where are X and X? Do something for Kizomba. The real Kizomba is changing, is dying. We need you. Please do something, Kaysha. And yeah, what do you do? I think the fans are taking the artists for granted. I think the fans are not realizing that in the ecosystem, they play an important part in the equation. Here's the ecosystem. I'm gonna take Nadia, who's, I don't know, maybe you're a singer, but I'm gonna say that you are a listener, a lover of music, right? And then I'm gonna take DJ Royalty. So DJ Royalty is part of the equation because he's the one who's gonna play the music for Nadia in the club. Then you're gonna have Moto Music. He has a podcast, so he's also, as the DJ, somebody who will curate the music and make it listen to the fans, right? And then you're gonna have let me see, somebody like where is he? Somebody like, why did he disappear? Somebody like Grim, for example. Somebody like Grim, who is somebody who creates the beats. So he's part of the equation because he makes instrumentals, right, for the singers. And then you have me. I'm a singer, I'm a producer, I'm a beat maker. And I'm a creator, right? So we the creators, we create and we shape the culture. We sell our music to the people who listen to it, right? And a lot of the time when a sound disappears, when a genre gets weaker, or where everybody starts to listen to something else, the fans start complaining that, and they complain to us, yo, where is the Zouk? And my questions to the fans is, yeah, where is it? Like, it's up to you guys. You are the guardians of the culture, not us. Us, the artists, yo, we take our responsibilities. But we are the creators. We create music. Yep, you create music. We create music. We create lyrics. We create and we give emotions and we put it there, right? The DJs in the ecosystem, the radios, the television, they play it and they decide what they play, because ultimately we can only make good music and hope that they play it. But ultimately, it would be nice if I was. See? Hey, what up, Mwagima? What up? Welcome. And then Nadia listens to it. And if Nadia decides to listen to it in a platform where she pays either 99 cents to buy your song or 12 cents to listen unlimited on Spotify or another place, then the ecosystem is working. If one of those people stop doing their job, then the ecosystem doesn't work anymore. Take the artist. But the DJ in the club can be replaced nowadays with and the radio. No, not the DJ. I would say the radio has been replaced by Spotify and the algorithms, right? But still, a lot of people keep asking me, why did I stop making new songs? And I have to tell people every day, I'm on Spotify. I do new songs every Friday. And it used to piss me off, but now I'm just like, well. Do you guys even make your research before you tweet at people? Do you guys even, before asking the question, with your Twitter fingers or Instagram when people are on live, yo, por que paraste de fazer música? Yo. Did you even check before asking? And I think that the fans have become lazy. They become lazy because there's too much music out there. There's so much music out there that they believe that Zouk is dead when all the Zouk artists are struggling trying to do new music. I will come to them one day, not today, because they have been lazy too, trying to do the same fucking music for 15 years, and maybe that's the reason why it's not working, but they still here trying to exist, and the fans are here telling them, where are you? I'm here in front of you. But in a way where, I had this conversation with my manager of 20 years, Guylaine, the last time we talked together, before she go work at Universal. I told her one thing. I said, listen, the music game has changed completely because internet is unlimited and people have the choice between entering a house and paying a little fee to be in the house so they can eat what's in the house, or being in the street and taking the fruits on the ground, the same one, same quality. And they have a choice. They decide if they want to pay you or not. Don't want to pay you? They can go on YouTube, install a Chrome extension, download your song, and listen to it forever. They want to reattribute you for retribute you for your work and the value that you are giving to them. They can donate. They can listen to you on a platform that will pay you, or they can even buy your song. They have the choice. And a lot of the times they took bad habits of back in the days when they had to pay €20 for a CD, and they took those bad habits of downloading your music. And now that the music has never been more free, they don't want to lose those habits. I was having a conversation with Lisa Lopez the other time, and I was asking her, how come when you guys are millions of Cap Virgins in the US, none of you exploded as superstars? When we come in your country, the same people are here. She was telling me, well, none of us are really like doing it as a full-time job, and the people are not in the way she was just telling me that people are not supporting. And this is my grip with the fans. Listen, my fans are amazing. My core fans are amazing. The 250,000 people that listen to my music on Spotify and the other places and pay my rent are amazing. But at the same time, the rest, there's a lot of them who knows, they know me for One Love, On Dit Quoi, Question My Heart, and Fiona. And they don't take the time to do their due diligence and search for the new songs. Follow you on Spotify. So at least follow you on YouTube. So at least when you have new music, they get a notification or they get an email. So they don't do their homework. But then, listen, you don't want to do your homework, it's fine. You want to keep listening to the old songs? It's fine. It's so good. If you keep listening to One Love or On Dit Quoi rather than Last Night, I would make the same amount of money as long as you listen to something. So that's fine for me. My problem is when you come to me after you've been obsessed with One Love for 15 years, 17 years, you've been obsessed with one song, and then you come to me and said, yo, why Zouk is dead? Why you don't make new songs? I'm like, yo, fam, it's time to put your head out of the sand and realize one thing. The guardians of the culture are not the artists. The artists are the artisans of the culture. The DJs, the radios are the spreaders of the culture. The guardians of the culture is the people. It's the fans. And if you guys don't do your job, don't complain when your dance changes without your permission, because I see you in the comments telling me that that's not the way you dance kizomba when you see Ukrainian people or Russian people or Chinese people dancing kizomba a way that is not the right one for you. I will reply to you the same thing every time, which is, yeah, art is alive and art changes. And secondly, if you wanted kizomba to stay the way you want it to be, what did you do? If you are just here watching and not taking any action and not defending or not spreading the version of kizomba or zouk that you like, don't complain if somebody else's changes it. Don't complain. Don't ask me why zouk is not where zouk was if you didn't support the artist you love. The artist you love maybe decided to get a job because he was not making enough money, because the people who love his songs prefer downloading it from YouTube rather than paying 10 fucking euros, 10 on Spotify, 10 or Apple Music or wherever. And if you're a student, it's $4.99, right? So you don't want to give 10 per month and go support the artist you love, when in these days and age, look at me, there's no more comments. I'm not mad at you guys. So if you don't want to support the artist you love, don't be shocked if they're forced to get a job because they're not making enough money to feed their families. And then once they leave their sword and stop being a knight because they need to be making bread, and they become a baker, don't ask where are all the nights. The nights are gone because you didn't support them. And I think now every time fans will ask me, what happened to Zook? I will tell them, you happened. Because I think I have a vlog where I say this. I said, yo, there's 2 million Martinique and Guadeloupe got people in France or in the world, I don't remember. And artists are selling 2,000 CDs. So I was saying this 10 years ago. I was like, you guys are taking a piss. You are the guardians of the culture. We are the creators of the art. We provide stuff, but who definitely decide what is the culture and where the culture goes and what are the new trends is you guys. Because all we can do as artists is propose something. We don't decide if it's gonna blow, if people are gonna like it or people are not gonna like it. We don't have that power. Our only power is creating beautiful music from thin air, from emotions and stuff. Then all we can hope is that the DJ do their job, because sometimes I'll get at you the other time, the DJs. Sometimes the DJs don't do their job because they want to be able to do their easy sets. I go to some parties where I can actually hear in sometimes different parties from different DJs. I'm gonna hear a sound, dun 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 dun, and then I know that the DJ will play. If the DJ plays dun 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 dun, let's grab. I'm like, I'm gone. I'm out. I'm out of this party, because some DJs only stay in their comfort zone too, and they keep playing the same songs over and over again. They never play nothing new because they don't want to lose the crowd. They don't want to take the risk. So how does the new artist that just arrived in the market survive here if the DJ is not playing his songs? How does the older artist survive or propose new songs if everywhere I go in the club, I'm gonna have the guy look at me and say, oh my God, he's here. Let's play One Love. Thanks for playing my song from 2004. Maybe in 2035, you play my song from 2020, motherfucker. Like, and same thing for the fans. If you don't let the artists evolve, then the culture stays where it's at. And if it stays where it's at, it's not moving forward, so it's not alive anymore. And then somebody else arrives. So, yeah. I wanted to end on that somber note. For me, is who buy the product responsible for rising the production of the product? I'm a consumer. Yeah, listen. Whoever buys has the ultimate power in the end. And as an artist, all you can do is make content that is nice. Artists only capture and reproduce what they see. Indeed. Like I say, I'm the voice of the angels. And, you know, it's really up to the fans to and I know this the platforms and the world where we are, where you have unlimited content thrown at you every day. You open Instagram, there's 5,000 new photos every day for you. You open YouTube, there's 500 hours of video uploaded every minute. Netflix, there's a new season of something every week. And music, every day there's 40,000 new songs. So it's hard to navigate in there. That's why you let the algorithm decide for you. But instead of asking questions to artists about why this and that, maybe it's time to become a militant and be like, yo, listen, I want music from Guinea-Bissau to be huge. So every day I will listen to 10 songs on Spotify from Patch de Rima and them. And then if there's 1,000 people like you, all of a sudden these artists can pay their rent from their art. So they do more. I have the chance that I have so many songs that are out that I'm generating a lot of streams. But I've been teaching my community how it works. So I don't really put myself in that problem the same way as others, but I know that there's a lot of artists who are there in that problem where they want to do music, but yeah, like after 6 months, they realize they only made 50 euros and it doesn't even pay a music video. And the fans sometimes they want to, they say that everything sounds the same, but when you do something different, they don't listen to it. So it's hard to navigate as an artist. You have to find the right place to put yourself as a creator. And as I say, it's an ecosystem. Everybody has to do their work, and a lot of time I release a single, and the next day there's somebody who has a link for people to download the song that they could listen for free on Spotify. But there's always somebody who believes that, and they tag me there. They're like, yo, you see, we are supporting you. And I'm like, oh. So, you have to do your part. That's all I wanted to say. And I know it's a big subject, so we'll get back at it. I was just touching on it for a quick 20 minutes. It is 4:20. The sun is about to people been listening to the same people, even if the music isn't great. Indeed, sister, indeed. Anyway, on those on those words of wisdom, I'm gonna leave you guys. It's always a pleasure to spend some time with you, and as always, donate, subscribe, like, become a sponsor, and if you don't have to give, make sure you go to Spotify or Apple Music or Deezer, any platform, and just play the songs. Play the latest one that play my album through the night while you're sleeping, etc. This helps, and don't forget to leave a like on these videos, and I will see you guys in the next one, right? I want to give a shout out to Maximum Records, who was here, AJ, Moto, Grim on the beat, Lil Maro, who probably fell asleep since then, Houdney, Andre, Music Feeling, who came see us, Malcolm Beats, Milton Cruz, thanks for the donation, Izasha, DJ Monteiro, all the Club Shada gang, Jennifer in Benin. I want to give a shout out to Nadia, of course. I want to give a shout out to DJ Gellas, who was here, DJ IET, who passed by. I want to give a shout out to, I think I gave shout out to everybody who was here. First one who came from Guinea-Bissau, and of course Mwagima, and of course, dear cousin Joel, my brother Kochite. Go listen to his album, beautiful album. My pleasure, Dali. It's a pleasure to share the information with the people. And as for me, my name is Mr. Shada, and I will see you. Don't forget that Sunday, I'll probably be live before that, or maybe Sunday night after the battle. But don't forget that we are organizing the big battle Sunday between Don Kikash and Johnny Ramos. So it's gonna be Angola versus Cabo Verde. Two guys with more than 20 years of careers, and this is going to be an amazing moment for the culture. And we will also announce after that battle Sunday night, we will announce the next battle that's going to be epic. And as for me on Club Shada, I will have as the next guest, I'm going to have Guillaume Lalung, which is a friend of mine who promotes parties in Portugal. So that's going to be one in French. I will make sure that as somebody asked me, probably was AJ, I will make sure that I call my best friend and we can have some philosophical conversation about men and women. That's going to be fun. That's going to be in French too. We're going to have Music Feelings, who's going to come to the live. Kochite, I'm going to invite you to the live too. I'm going to have Sikwat Pedro, that I want him to come to the live. Rahiz has to come to the live too. I'm gonna have different people. I'm also gonna have Olga Korzikonva, who's she's a Ukrainian, but she lives in Spain, and she organized the biggest festival of Kizomba in Spain. And I want to ask her how the quarantine and the pandemic, the global pandemic, hurt the Kizomba business. I really want to have this conversation with her. So I've been talking to her on the phone. We're trying to have a good way to do this. We're gonna have a big soca artist that really wants to come in the live. So it's gonna be an interesting conversation. Plus we're gonna do a lot of other things, and we'll see. Nadia, don't worry. I'm gonna have English and Portuguese people too. There's gonna be a little bit for everybody. Don't worry. And when I do a live in another language than English, I always make sure that after the conversation, I stay an extra hour to speak back in English with the people. So don't worry. There's gonna be enough for everybody. Definitely will help if the followers develop a deep passion for the music. In the meantime, we'll continue to support. Good night. Thanks a lot, brother. Thank you. Bless up. That's Lou. She's the one. Aguela, you still here? Anyway, my people, this was the Club Shada. My name is Kaysha, and I will see you in the next one. Bless.